back. Also readjusting once more. There we go. So, getting right back to the news. Also, holy fuck. There we are. Alright, so, what I reckon as far as the news is concerned here, and oh boy. So, the old school Runescape subreddit's been embroiled, well, back then anyway, an unusual controversy. And I say that actually I've got a little comment I want to read out here once I'm done with this. This baffles me because there's been a bit of a controversy as many people on old school RuneScape are defending RuneScape 3. But what for? Well, there's been this thing with RuneScape 3 where it's been getting a good bit of negative reviews and that. Some illegitimate, but most have been sort of saying, well, you know, if you're going to go, be aware of the current culture of this game and that, you know, very much there's people who want to warn people of the potential problems with microtransactions or gambling scene in a different way, not with Dual Arena, but other problems. And just generally, it's not bad compared to some mobile games, like, you know, there's that fucking Raid Shadow fucking Legend, like that pish, but it's still not great. And it's like saying, alright, if you find it interesting but you don't quite like what this game's direction is, here's an alternative. Old school RuneScape. Pretty much got none of the microtransactions, so if you can get over the graphics, yeah, it's like pretty good. It's like iconic. Doubly so if you want to, like, if you remember the old good old days, you won't go back to that. You can. Just play that game. And there you go. Obviously, a fair warning just to say that if you've got an account before and that, it might still be existing on RuneScape 3, but you will have to start over on old school RuneScape like everybody else had to, myself included. But otherwise, it's all good. And that, you know, and well, I also see that the battle's about to begin. Oh boy. Right, I'll just little zoom down here. Right. So, as this little chaotic battle is about to start, and that also me not even winning combat gear because it's not actually that hard, and that, of course, this is just at the very start of the quest. Yeah, also this little dialogue, and that, oh boy. Yeah, alright, just a quick little thing before I get back in the news here. Yeah, people noted that there was a bit of an intriguing direction went in this particular quest, like this whole dialogue thing with Elena, and that, particularly in a sort of romantic direction, which is a tad awkward if you're a female. And no kidding, and that I was starting the female characters off this one, and I was like, holy fuck. Also, damn, I'm gonna have to reposition. There we go, close enough. But right, so indeed you see here and that, it's like, god damn. Chaotic indeed. But they go down easy all the same. Yeah, Mourners, that's what they're called. Fucking Mourners. Boy. But yeah, so as far as what this one little, no, not tweet, you moron, comment as far as Reddit's concerned is actually quite revealing, and I'll say this as far as what I believe it was Vixar's son Twitter said. I'll say it as follows, if you just give me a moment. Alright, so here's what he said that I found to be quite revealing, and certainly some that I pretty much agree with entirely. So, said this on the last thread, we'll say it again, intentionally avoiding leaving a truthful bad review on a game you dislike or know is targeting players with scummy microtransactions in hopes that people will fall for the money trap or play the developer's other game is an awful hill to die on. Just be honest in your reviews. If you dislike how Jagex has changed the game, there's absolutely nothing wrong with leaving a negative review on the game you've played in the past 4 years. Just be truthful. Let people know why you dislike the game. But if your sentiment is that we shouldn't leave negative reviews at all because you think they will try the game, dislike it, and suddenly be so eager to come to old school RuneScape, then you have a delusional idea of how new players are being piped into the game. Chances are they probably won't want to try either game either. Yeah. Oh, there's also more than that. There we are. Not only is it deceptive to those viewing the game, but it also doesn't work. A new player who finds RuneScape 3 through Steam is most likely not going to find old school RuneScape through a backlink on their website or purely through discussion on RuneScape 3. You wouldn't avoid leaving a negative review on Halo 5 if you liked Halo 3, just because you want people to play Halo 3. That's not how games get players. If you're just going to leave a negative review without any reasoning, like the post linked, then yes, it's not really providing any substance. However, they are literally giving you the only platform for you to rate the game. That's where you're supposed to express how you feel. You don't like how they're pushing microtransactions? That's where you let them know. If you've played RuneScape for years, you're 100% justified to have a negative opinion, even if you haven't played for years since. And if you're hoping it will bring Jagex more money overall, that's even more scummy. You shouldn't be trying to recruit players into gambling real world money on a video game in hopes of them investing that $20 pounds into another one of their games. Completely insane. Yep, that is pretty much resounding in terms of, yeah, just how Jagex, yeah, no, it's, as I say, I find it baffling how so many old school RuneScape players, like, can they not see that? The fact that, I hope this was just a little blind one. It's like, oh wait, you know, if RuneScape 3 dies, oh my gosh, oh no, just, you know, just throw that, like, it doesn't have to be that way, you know, it's like, turn a negative into a positive. The negative is RuneScape 3's crappy microtransaction systems and that, and let them enjoy a more better game that is the fucking game you're playing right now. And now, you know, say, alright, if you don't like this, but you like the concept of the game, here's this other version that's actually quite better. If you get used to the crappy graphics, which, indeed they are, but they are iconic all the same, then it's like, yeah, you can have a wonderful experience without any of that microtransactions crap, just bonds, that's it, you know? And yeah, pretty much, but that really pisses off RuneScape 3 players, believe me, it's like you say, you know, you don't deserve success because just your culture and that, but we do, because we do things the right way. That, even if it comes off with good intentions, really fucking rubs up the wrong way, and normally they're quite tolerant, but believe me, I've seen some pushback, and that's probably why they've been successful, just saying, oh, do you want your game to, like, your precious game to have microtransactions? You know, we're the shield that guards you from these things. If you don't support us, you're next. And perhaps there's some truth to that, you know, but it's like, do you really want that as an excuse to throw new players into a worse experience? You know? Especially if they don't know there's a better experience out there. It's like, and the thing is, it's not even a case of, oh, you'll make them go towards other games. It's not even that. It's the same fucking game. If you're subscribed to RuneScape, good. If you're subscribed to old school RuneScape, good. If you happen to be one of the really unusual folks who subscribe to both, good. It's all the same. The only thing is, RuneScape 3 has far more microtransactions than old school RuneScape, where it only has the one, albeit I think it's quite popular because of how many people, like, I think the only contention is real world trade does undermine it, you know, buying gold around the bond system, and that is where RuneScape has a bit of a problem, you know, the old one, it's, so there's a bit of a problem that's going to be, have to tackle someday, you know, it's like, who the fuck knows. But yeah, that is indeed that Mourners one done, and very much what's coming up next is indeed the Ardougne battle, and oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. That much I can reassure you. Oh boy. So, with that all said, I reckon we can move on from there and just hopefully people learn the bloody lessons and that, you know, in terms of actually communicating and just seeing where everything's all going back and that. But yeah, so a little bit of a more positive surprise in that. Yes, the Zezima, also camera, can you not? Alright, the Zezima has returned, and after that whole login issue, which, no, it's not quite a sign that it's over. If anything, it's got far worse, but more on that later. Yeah, he surprisingly returns with comments on whether he'll make a new comeback in old school RuneScape, and you know, with regards to, what's it, I think he mentioned something to do with the Soul War. No, that's the other bit. Yeah, as far as his comeback and that, it's, he's left it kind of, not vague, but not likely, you know, it's like, you know, his sort of famous kind of little thing on, what's it, yeah, as far as his sort of taking it, it's like, he was famous during early RuneScape 2 days and that, you know, that's where he really got to being famous. And people adored him for it, you know, he was seen as sort of iconic in the sense, you know, but nowadays it's not so anymore, you know, he's no longer got that iconic status, that's now passed over to new people. Also, damn, there we are. Yeah, new players who very much now are an embodiment of old school RuneScape. He's kind of an old relic, as it were. And I think he's just like, it still goes as this telltale sign that he's not even max yet on old school RuneScape, despite the fact the game's been out for 7 years. At which point, I'm pretty sure from 2000 and whenever he started to like say 2008, 2009, he would have been max like rank 1 by then. And that, you know, but yeah, since then, you know, I think he burnt out and that shows, was it the Lynx Titan fellow? And that, you know, he who got all max stats and that, you know, like 200 mil experience and all skills and that, you know, on all skills and that, on old school RuneScape, he's not been seen since, and that, you know. I dare say if that warning skill passed, he would have been shitting his pants, but alas, you know, no skill has thus arrived, so. Oh boy. Right, so, as far as what other news, and this was the other one here, yeah. So I did just briefly slip on there, yeah, Soul Wars. Yeah, Soul Wars, yeah, indeed. That actually indeed has passed, and yeah, people have actually said, alright, let's make this happen. And very much so, it's like, people are now keen to see what it is. Well, I say that, but really, some people are keen. You know, like, this whole idea of people, I don't know, it's surprising despite the fact it passes around, like, 80%. People are mixed on that, like, saying, oh, no, the game will just kind of be popular for, like, a few weeks and then it'll die out, you know, like, the era of fun is gone, unfortunately. You know, and that is the sad thing about it. You know, yeah, very much sad indeed. Also, yeah. But yeah, so we get to this bit here, yeah, with King Lathis. You know, actually, funny enough, you know how each quest seems to have a favourite character dying of sorts? I guess, ironically, you could say King Lathis is this one's Niev and Bob the cat, the Jagex cat. Even though he's not exactly adored in the same level, like Niev, I think they just want to kill off Mordreach's little pet project, and that. And Bob the cat, I guess the sad thing is that Bob the cat was made way back in 2004-5, so 15 years later, 16 years even, you can imagine the obvious and that, you know, like, I guess they never really said the obvious, so I guess now he's dead in spirit as well, but it is all for the best, Dranslayer 2, the epic quest, and that, but here they chose King Lathis, and I don't exactly know why, and that. Also, yeah, I think it's found out he is indeed a Zamarakian, yes, controversial religion indeed, but, my god. Yeah, this is where, indeed, we wrap up business here in Ardougne. And as you know, it's all about the Elves and that, so spending the majority of time here in the Ardougne bloody kingdom, it doesn't make very much sense and that. So, once we're done here, the rest of the time, I believe, is spent, well, the vast majority of this time is spent in none other than the Tyranwin Forest. So I believe it was called Isafdar and that, but who the fuck knows? I think Tyranwin's the name of the whole continent rather than the forest itself, and that, but I digress. So, yeah, you'll see all that chatter, and that no doubt a most intriguing scene follows, and that via classic medieval executions. Oh boy, so, well, that goes about, yeah, as far as the Souls War is concerned, definitely, I'm intrigued. I'm going to record it, and if I can, I'm going to make sure I get a bit of time off so that I can actually properly record it. Also, load my tools. But yeah, I think that's the thing at the end of the day, and that it's all about having fun and that. And the league shows that people are willing to have fun. In fact, I'll wager probably they'll release Soul Wars shortly after the league's done with. I think they're saying right at the beginning of January or something. You know, like, I've had my time. I could have had, like, a good 2.5 weeks on these, but I've not even touched it, you know, it's like, nah. And you want to know my reason why? Trailblazer League, I primarily don't really like. I love to watch it, don't get me wrong, but I feel like playing it is a different thing entirely, because it's like, with regards to the experience and that, you know, getting that 5, 10, 15 experience, you know, the game breaking powers. Also, yeah, Elves indeed. Bloody hell. But, yeah, just that whole thing, it's like, it is a bit of a contention to be had. Also, yeah, indeed, the Ironworth Elves have had a bit of a makeover, as of all of them, actually. You'll notice, these Elves are actually not purple anymore. Yeah, for some fucking reason. I don't know who designed Elves, if it was Moji or somebody else, but whoever designed it, they fucked up in terms of, like, making all these bad guys look completely different. And, like, it's a tad comical, and I'm not gonna lie, it's just, whoever thought that was a good idea, clearly, not to come off as insulting, but it's like, come on. You're out to fucking know. And if you've been in the business for this long, and that, there's simple like, things like that just, they don't work. They sound nice, but they don't work. And you know, it's like, sounds nice in as a plan on paper, but when you actually put it on the real thing, yeah, it just doesn't work. Also, LOL, yes, again, indeed, this is where you actually see the whole rebels and that, as was the case when you first saw them in the Mourning Ends. I want to say, is it, I don't know if it's Mourning End Part 1 or if it's Rebel. I forget the one where you do the whole crystal bowl thing. I forget which quest it is. Roving Elves and that. But yeah, so this is indeed where the conflict between how is it? I can't remember. Prifnidas and there's the other one. Shit, I can't remember the name of that. Fuck, I should, but oh well. I'll probably remember it next time or something, but anywho, yes, so whilst that plays out and indeed, I find that, yeah, just with Souls Wars and concerned and that, you know, we'll see what happens with it. If it turns out to be good, turns out to be pish, or, you know, it's just a fun little distraction here and there, you know. I mean, God knows, it's been a while since I last went to Castle Wars, and I would love to go back and actually try out some of the new stuff, but, I mean, who the fuck knows? Who knows? But, right, so, I'll wager, yeah, I could probably sneak in one more little news before finishing up with this part. Yeah, so, alrighty-ho. Yeah, obviously, I know the full Souls Wars, that's one other thing I want to mention, the concerns over botting, you know, because that was a thing in RuneScape 3, you know, just people botting, and it's like, also, yeah, the fact there was considered game once dead content, that's basically what they're worried about, you know, content, many hours spent, people hardly play it, like the bosses and that, and yeah, just time wasted, that's their main concern. But, the very next topic, yeah, new Reverend Cave changes. They actually followed through and they actually listened. But probably because they were getting that much flack. You might say, oh, they just got tired of hearing and just want to actually do something in that. You know, but I think they knew it was going to be a big problem sooner or later, you know, because gold farmers, it was probably with them for a fucking reason. And high level money making with not that much effort, you know, and the effort thing was countered by the risk. And the risk PKers and likes. But when you had the whole clan thing and that, it muddied the balance and that. It's like, they rigged it essentially to their favour and that, and it just pissed off people to the point that the effort came even less. Like, had it been the case that people doubled down, they could have possibly broke up some of the clans, but no, they made it annoying. And that, annoying to kill them, annoying to deal with them. It's like, nah, it's a shit PK experience, a shit PVM experience, unless you pay them as. And it's like, nah, just don't bother. And that's how they want to succeed. Now, with the new Reverend Cave changes, I believe the key ones is that it's now no longer multi, and it's only single plus. You know, that whole thing where it's like, you know, if you're doing the whole attacking a monster, PK would not be able to interrupt you at all, but now they can. And that bit's still one-on-one combat. But, yeah, so that was one of them. That's killed the multi-scene. Second one, the Reverend Caves are... The Reverend Caves, all the previous other denizens... fuck me. The Reverend Cave denizens have now been shifted to a new Slayer Cave up in the deeper wilderness and that, near the very next one, I think. Something like that. But yeah, that's where they've been shifted off to. And they've now got a slightly more numbers than that. That place is also multi, so fun times indeed. But yeah, so as far as that's concerned, certainly with the Rev Cave changes, it's made Rev Caves indirect less profit on its own because, you know, not as many I think it's only one, not two, just per area. It's like very small, and the big ones have their own little place, so the smaller ones are like kind of pairs and that. Like, yeah, pretty bad for profit as is, and that's not even count that the tables have been nerfed to like 20%, which doesn't sound too much, but actually it has to be more than that, way over 20%. You know, people are struggling to get over 1 million an hour. With good gear, it's like, holy fuck. Yeah, this is a place you used to get like 3, 4, the best case scenario, about close to 5 mil an hour. Now you're like just lucky to get over 1 million. Yeah, suffice to say, I think they might have killed the Revenant Caves because of all these changes and that. And also, I think the original why I envisioned that there was going to, instead of the Venezuelan clans going on the offensive, they'll go on the defensive. So instead of like aiming to kill people, they'll simply just piss them off. Like have somebody who's like really well good defense, they attack someone that not charging for, just ram them, keep attacking them until they get pissed off. Or if they do manage to eventually get them weak enough, have a second ragger who takes over. He's got full equipment. The first one re-gears, gets food and that, and yeah, pretty much just rinse and repeat. But apparently it's not even happened. Like, yeah, I think almost all the Venezuelans are fucked off now because it's just not a good moneymaker anymore. And guess what? Nightmare. Yeah, people thought fucking Nightmare would be not sustainable because it's based on getting crappy loot overall, but you get the rare unique that's worth a lot. Yep, that's their new location now. It's like, holy fuck. Yeah, but balancing a lot more Venezuelans at the Nightmare of Ashihama now, and I've still yet to kill that boss once. So, who the fuck knows by the time I get around to it, the items will crash a good bit, but we shall see, we shall see. But anywho, I reckon this is out to conclude part 2. And indeed, next time, bloody hell, coughs and all, bloody hell. Yeah, we shall see where this goes, Alright, till then folks, till then.